Impressive stuff, eh? Well, it is if you consider the fact that these lads are not world superbike riders or even British superbike riders. They're actually just lads off the street. The guys who have got superbikes, sports bikes, and they just fancy coming here and having a go, seeing what the job is, seeing whether their machine is as fast as they'd like it to be, or even quicker, or whether they're as up to the standard of riding these fast machines. It's Oulton Park, it's freezing. Paul has got the cushy job as always. He's over in the pits talking to some of the organisers. So let's go and find out what he's found out about a track day here at Oulton Park. Joined by one of the instructors now, Ross, who you're normally out on the track.
I am, yes.
Done well to catch you in the pits, haven't we?
Well, you have. I'm just having a bit of a breather for a few minutes. I've been out all day.
Right, I mean, these bikes that are on the track that lads have brought today, they're all their own bikes. They're all road legal bikes. Do they have to be, what's the conditions to put them on the track?
You're exactly right. They do have to be road legal bikes. We don't allow race bikes on. We don't allow slick tyres. They are perfectly road legal bikes.
Right, and what about the exhaust? There's some fairly noisy ones, but they're all...
They are, but they all have to be, as you can hear, under 100 decibels.
Right.
Which makes them not too noisy. They're quite good.
So as long as there's nothing outrageous, they're allowed on the track?
Absolutely, yes.
And what about lights? You know?
Lights, no, they can take the lights off because at the end of the day, we've got to think about the cost if they crash the bike, unfortunately, and a lot of people do replace lights, they take them off. They put pattern bodywork on just to make sure that if they do have an unfortunate, then it's not going to cost them too much.
Correct, right. They don't have to have a brake light, do they not?
They don't have to have a brake light, no. Sometimes it can put people off if they brake a bit early, but no, they're perfectly road legal bikes with a few modifications.
Right, and what about the riders themselves? Do you get any crazy people? Do you ever have to say, hey, come on, get off the track?
Unfortunately, we do. We get the odd racer that's trying to sneak in with us, and their lines are somewhat different to ours because they're cutting people up. I mean, they're perfectly safe, but unfortunately it can put some of the lads off because the lads here, they just come for a bit of fun. They're not out to race. They don't want to race. They just have a bit of fun. And if we get a racer out there, then it can upset them.
Well, I'm joined by John Stevens here, who's just about as experienced as you're ever going to get with craft work on a circuit. Because John teaches Grand Prix drivers in cars. He
coach them.
You coach them?
Coach them, yeah, not teach them. Coach
well,
them.
They know what they're doing already, don't they, John, really? But you just give them the finer edge.
That's right.
And motorcycles as well, and that's why you're here.
Yes, that's it, yeah.
Because they're using your experience and your knowledge of track work, track craft.
That's right, yeah.
And you keep your eye on the job, and I believe you're even there to help them move up a level or even bring them down a level so they're within their capabilities.
That's right.
How do you go about that? How do you know who's who?
Well, when they sign in on the beginning of the day, we ask them which group they want to go in. And usually it works out quite well. But if we see that somebody's faster than they should be, we move them up a group.
Yeah.
Or if if they're too slow, we move them back down. It seems to work out very well.
Yeah.
And then, as I said to you, I mark the circuit out with cones so they know exactly the lines. We lead them round in groups to begin with to give them sort of some sighting laps of the circuit, familiarisation laps. And then in lunchtime, I take them out in a car as well, 3 or 4 at a time, because you can show them so much in the car that you can't show them on a blackboard.
This is to assist with racing lines, braking points.
It's not racing lines; it's the line.
Right, got you.
It doesn't matter what line it is; it's the proper line you should take.
Yeah. Do you find that the people who are using the machines are within the bounds of the machine? Can they ride them up to the level of the machine, or do you have to just put your threepenny within and assist them in that respect?
Well, some of the riders take to it quite naturally. Others you have to help. They come and ask advice, and we take them out and we lead them round as well. The whole point is about these track days is really you've got a situation where you remove the problems and frustrations of oncoming traffic. They got room to make mistakes in complete safety, and they got a repetitive situation where they go through a corner and get it wrong. In 2 or 3 minutes time they're going through that corner again, but with guidance from us they can practice and practice till they get it right. And because the other point is that they can really, if they ride within their limits, they can really use the performance of their bike on a track day like this, whereas on the road it's just not safe to do it.
Sure, but it's going to be advantageous to them on the road then, isn't it? What they
yes.
learn, they can transfer that to the road.
Absolutely. What we keep telling them all the time is everything they learn here, they can apply to the road. I mean, just to give you a very quick instance, when you're on a racing circuit, every time you come out of one corner, you're planning where you're going to be for the next one, exactly as you should be doing on a public road. Every time you go through a corner, you're always looking round the corner. Again, exactly as you should be doing. It's all relative, you know.
As it's your job also, as you've said, to sort of keep your eye on people, help them along.
Yeah.
Have you had to just sort of like put the strong arm of the law in and just have a word with a few?
You have to sometimes. Oh yeah, I mean sometimes if they all start going a bit silly, we have to get them together and say, look, you know, things are beginning to go wrong. This is a fun day. You're not here racing. You're just learning roadcraft, if you like. Being able and having somewhere where you can apply it in safety. Oh yeah, we have to pull them in sometimes. Yeah. Oh yeah, very much so.
I suppose your services are called upon by many people, but are you generally going to be the Kawasaki man?
Well, I am. I've been, since we started the school, or since we started these track days, I've been working with Roger Burnett, and we do it together all the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And there's many more to come in different parts of the country, presumably?
Oh yes, yes. We go all over the country.
Not everybody goes home from a track day feeling like they've really achieved something. Some people actually go home with a rather hefty repair bill because things don't all go according to plan. Look at the state of this, Wayne. What on earth's happened here, mate?
Don't ask, get lost.
Right, I won't ask. Now you know why I won't let him on a bike.
Anybody help a poor biker out? A couple of quid for a poor biker. Anybody help?
Well, certainly looks like an absolute ball out there. Let's talk to a couple of lads who've been doing it. Brothers, Andy and Steve. Andy, is this the first time you've been on a track day?
It is, yeah.
And is it any good?
Just a bit. It's absolutely superb.
Well worth the money.
Absolutely, yeah.
And were you surprised that? Were you surprised how fast you were going eventually?
At the end of the day, yes. I didn't think I would be going so quick because to begin with, it's really scary. Yeah. Because you're just sort of wide open and it's a bit peculiar.
It's nice to know there's nothing coming the other way, though, isn't it?
Absolutely. Oh yes. Right. Yeah. There's enough Armco to worry about. Never mind cars the other way.
Excellent. Right. Let's bring Steve in. Steve, you're on a blade here. I mean, have you been on a track day before?
No, first time.
Right. And so, are you surprised at the capabilities of your machine?
I'm a little bit scared of it actually.
You found out now what it can do.
Yes, it's again a bit sort of light on some of the lighter bits of the circuit coming over the hills and things.
So what have you achieved out of this? I mean, how will this help you? Do you think it'll help you?
Yeah, I think I'm a lot smoother. I'm more confident in what the tyres will do. That's the big thing. I know how far over I can go before it's got a problem. You just never achieve that sort of thing on the road.
No, you can't achieve it, but it's nice to know it's there if you get in the trouble.
Right. If you need it, it's there and you can use it.
Right, and you come again.
Definitely.
And you come again.
We're booked already.
There you go, what an advert, brilliant.